I am Mrs. Gertrude Oforowa Fefoame, President of International Council on Education of People with Visual Impairment, and I am the immediate past chair of the Committee on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. I work at Site Savers as a global advocacy manager, and I come from Ghana. It's such a pleasure for me to talk about Braille as a person who is blind and the power it gives. And that is why we have said more Braille, more empowerment. Braille cannot be an option. It is an essential for every learner, except if the individual circumstance does not allow the person to learn and use Braille. And I keep on saying that until the last non-blind person drops the pen, it is not acceptable for any visually impaired person who requires Braille to be denied of this opportunity. We are talking about Braille not as a charity. I'm talking about Braille as a human right issue, backed by the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, that the Article 24 demands that every learner, child, adolescent, adult, formal, informal, is supported to be participatory, to be strengthened, to be empowering, and Braille remains essential. Equally, access to information, Article 21, continue to emphasize. And also, as we talk about Article 9 on accessibility, access to information and communication also emphasizes that. And similarly, the Marrakesh Treaty also pushes us as a human rights venture that every person with disability, every person who has a visual impairment, who requires Braille, who requires other accessible format, should be provided at the same time as an equal opportunity like others. For me, the power that Braille gives me is not only for literacy, but also for social intervention, participation, and pushing the paper, pushing the notes to my colleagues at the time I like. And while also digital technology complements the Braille, but the Braille is the fundamental foundation that empowers, as I said earlier. So I will call all and sundry to support, being the states, being the private sector, being the developers, being the International Council on Education of Visual Impairment in all our regions, being individuals, being parents, teachers, educationists, peers, and all, to support this campaign wherever we find ourselves, and speak to and demand and influence and ensure that every child, wherever the person finds himself or herself, rural, urban, developing, developed, who needs Braille, gets Braille without a struggle. Thank you for being part of this campaign. Thank you for answering our call to action. Thank you for being a partner. Thank you for being a founder. Thank you for being a user. Thank you for being a promoter. Thank you.
Thank you.